Welcome back to another simple 5-minute Wuthering Waves guide featuring Lupa. She's an insane game changer when it comes to pure mono fusion teams and a must-have for the current and future fusion characters of the game. No time to waste, so let me teach you how she works. Let's start with her forte. At the bottom you can see 2 bars which will fill up as you do basic attacks, skill, or liberations. Once the bar is full, you can perform a heavy attack or mid-air attack 3 to activate the Wolf Faith. Lupa can hold up to 2 Wolf Faith. When she has activated both Wolf Faiths, she can consume these to perform her enhanced skill, which allows her to perform a follow-up attack when another Resonator ults within 8 seconds. For her Resonance skill, this comes in 2 parts. The initial E restores the Forte and throws her weapon at the target to mark them for 8 seconds. Within this time frame, you can press E again to lock onto the target and teleport to them, dealing more damage. Now for the main part of her kit, her Liberation and Enhanced Intro. Casting her ult Liberation restores her Forte fully, and for 35 seconds you receive multiple buffs for all party members. Upon getting hit, you will also perform an auto dodge, and this does not negate the damage. The first buff is Pack Hunt, which grants all party members an extra 6% attack. She also grants a 10% fusion damage when against bosses, with an additional 10% fusion damage if all party members are fusion. Every intro skill cast by teammates enhances this buff by an additional 6% attack and increases up to 18%. Once this buff is enhanced fully after 2 intros, Lupa will be able to cast her enhanced intro, which does a lot more damage. The second buff is Glory, which is unlocked through the second inherent skill node. This allows all attacks to ignore 3% fusion resistance. For every fusion character in the team other than Lupa, this buff increases by 3% up to a total of 9%. So basically, the team ignores 3% fusion resistance if only Lupa, 6% if 2 fusion, and 15% if it's a mono fusion full team. Her outro amplifies the incoming Resonator's fusion damage by 20% and basic attack damage by 25% for 14 seconds until swap down, which is really good for both Brant and Encore. Moving on to the echoes, you want to go with 4, 3, 3, 1, 1 with crit rate on the main stat. Unless you have S1, you can opt out for crit damage. The optimal 3 cost would be 1x fusion and 1x attack percent, and then your 1 costs will be attack percent. Substat priority is crit rate, crit damage, resonance liberation, attack percent, and energy regen. I don't have enough energy regen in this guide video, but you want to aim for around 125% energy regen. Skill priority, you want to go with Forte Circuit and Liberation first, followed by normal attack, intro skill, and then resonance skill. Then for the weapons, we have Lupa's signature weapon, which is Wildfire, followed by Jinxi's Age of Harvest, and then the standard Lustrous Razor. Lupa is best played with a fusion team, so I do suggest going with Lupa, Changli, and Brant, and then Lupa and Cornchishia. You could also mix and match everyone in this team setup as long as they're all fusion. You can also add more Tefi if you wanted to. The simple way is to activate her ult first. This will fill up your Forte instantly. Now you press basic attack once and your Forte will go back to 0. From here, perform aerial basic attacks until your Forte is back to full, then activate your enhanced E. It's very simple. If you aren't planning on quick swapping, you can just do the normal rotations with every character such as Lupa to Brant to Changli. You can take your time because all their outros synergize as well with each other. Quick swappers can open with Lupa ult, use 1 fusion ult, enhance Lupa Forte skill, then second fusion ult within 8 seconds. Make sure to wait for Lupa's enhanced Forte to go off before you use the second ult or it cancels it. Now you quick swap while watching all 3 concerto bars, then Lupa outro to Brant to Changli and back to Lupa, and then enhance intro repeat. Quick swap is nice and flashy, but it's not needed. Moving on to the last part, we have the sequences. You're probably wondering how good her dupes are. So S1 gives you a 20% crit rate for 10 seconds after using your ultimate, and grants you immunity to interruption when casting your enhanced skill. Her S2 gives 20% fusion damage to all Resonators for 30 seconds when performing her Liberation, Air Attack 3, and heavy attacks. This stacks up to 2 times for a total of 40% fusion damage bonus. Her S3 increases the damage multiplier of her enhanced intro by 100%. Her previously restricted mono fusion liberation buff now works with non-mono fusion teams. She also receives a new buff when she ults, which allows her to ignore another 15% fusion resistance for 35 seconds, for a maximum total of 30% in a mono fusion team. Her S4 increases the multiplier of her enhanced skill by 125%. S5 gives 15% resonance liberation ult damage for bonus for 10 seconds after performing her normal or enhanced intro skills. S6 has a bunch of stuff packed inside, so let's break it down. First, it ignores 30% defense when doing her enhanced skill, enhanced intro, and ultimate. Secondly, her skill restores her Forte on hit, which can be triggered once every 20 seconds. Next one might sound confusing, but basically the enhanced skill you normally trigger without using her liberation does more Unga Bunga damage. Lastly, her enhanced intro skill no longer ends the boss from her liberation. Okie dokie, we hit the 5-minute mark. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share the video with your friends, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. This is your brother Steparu out.